To know. Welcome to CellarPass. This April 2nd. It is Aloha Thursday, and we've got our cocktails all in hand. And I've got a great lineup of friends to chat with tonight. I've got Ashley Hutchinson down at the Annex in Carmel by the Sea. We've got Chef Frank Miller. He's in Northern California. He's going to talk to us about making a really killer fried rice in a little bit. And then we have Rafi Menagian, who's here on Bainbridge Island with us. But he's over in his own home since none of us can go anywhere. And he's a fabulous, fabulous designer, violinist, and car aficionado. So welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
It's great to be here.
Yay!
Aloha.
Party time. It's Aloha time. Yay! Well, let's introduce Ashley, who is down in Carmel right now, and she can tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Annex.
Aloha oi, as we say. Carmel is sunny today, thank goodness. It's gonna rain all weekend. It's perfect for the theme today, which we're sticking to, which is kind of the island vibe and the Aloha theme. As you can see behind me, the bar is exactly that.
It's beautiful.
Wallpaper, a lot of live foliage, surf fins, and my pineapple drink.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this is a fun spot. We've been open just under a year, and everything that we try to do in here is everything that I didn't like out there. So that part of it.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's so festive in there. So tell us a little bit about like the benches and things that you got going on in your decoration. It's really pretty.
The idea behind this place, it's hard to tell coming in and especially looking on, but if you were to look at from one side to the other, one side is yellow benches that have a yellow and green, very warm feeling, wicker baskets. The other side of the bar is actually very warm, light blue, Mexican tile, concrete. And the idea is that it kind of works together. People talk to each other, but then they can also enjoy the segregation of the now we call them isolation booths. But the idea behind the Annex by Industry Outlaw, the company that I own is called Industry Outlaw, which there's nothing wrong with the industry that we're in, but I wanted to take away all of the unnecessary things that were there that were deterring maybe a new generation of wine drinkers and even foodies, and kind of have a serious wine program in a very, very warm and fun environment. It wasn't supposed to be as Hawaii-ana as it is. It totally just developed into that. And I think it's only because the people that came in here felt the warmth of it. And then all of a sudden it's turned into this very kind of kitschy, surfy, Hawaiian-themed space and place. And it was not by design.
It just came together.
And bring it on. I mean, I love it. I love what people have brought in. And so I've adapted to that. And now we just give the people what they want.
Excellent. It is gorgeous. And I see behind you some really beautiful wine bottles, which are your brand, Mana.
Yeah. So we brought the Mana wines out. This is where this whole thing started, which was a dream, a weird, bizarre dream. I was in the wine industry wholesale for quite some time. And as much as I loved everything about it, and I'm a capitalist by heart, I remember standing around a trade show one day and just looking at all the people that I've seen over the years and recognizing I'm not them and you are not me and this is not my jam. And I needed to find a way to emancipate myself. And my son and I designed and started Mana. And I can't believe it, but she'll be 3. Oh my God, in 2 days, on April 4th.
Wow, happy birthday.
We get to celebrate her birthday because nobody knows what day it is.
I know.
Rent due.
It's Blur's Day.
Oh my God, yeah, she's 3 in 2 days.
Well, congratulations. Can you hold up one of the labels closer to the camera?
So we went I bought 1,000 cases of shiners from a gentleman. Let's just see what happens. And originally it was just actually a pink, white, and a red. And I went back to Hawaii and saw a bunch of basically, buyers and a handful of individuals and what do you think? And did I do it right? And do you think this can stick? And let's just throw it against the wall. And we sold, I think, the first 1,300 cases in 4 months. And 2018, we were about 7,000 cases. In 2019, we're about probably almost 10.
Wow.
In 2020, production partner, it's a whole new world. So,
That's a lot of growth.
It is a lot of growth.
very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And our markets are Hawaii and just direct sales in California.
So
Very
what, what do you attribute the growth to? Was it, you think, the model, your economic, or the wine model, the?
It's a good question, because what was 3 years ago is no longer relevant to today, but somewhat. Yeah. So 3 years ago, guerrilla marketing still existed, and now maybe more so than ever, but you can't leave your house. So social media was a big thing 3 years ago. We started using hashtags, but I really capitalized on nostalgia, and I did it responsibly. So when I wanted to make a wine that used a Polynesian definition and a Hawaiian terminology, I literally traveled to the Kahala Coast, the northern part of the Big Island, and I sat with the land, the Aina, and I talked and I researched and I read and I asked permission. And by doing so, I felt that I was blessed by Hawaii, and we received the blessing for it. But in return, I said that I would give back, because you always have to fill the well. And by doing so, we actually founded a nonprofit last year based in Maui. And so that's the full circle.
That's a really nice, authentic way of expressing what you're doing. It's also, you know, as you're saying that, I'm looking around at your background and seeing the orchids and the way it's all curated. It's very well represented to what you've said. That's unusual to find, that kind of consistency, and that's where the authenticity comes in.
And that's the name of the company, Industry Outlaw. It's kind of stripping everything, taking away all the bullshit and all the things that we thought defined us, or, you know, I don't mind telling other people's stories. I did it for a long time, but it's okay to just kind of go back into the basics. And this is an insane time right now. This is exactly what this is all about.
Yeah, it's comforting.
People walk in here, they don't even know where they are. They don't think about wine. Oh, I don't know anything about wine. I don't know anything about this. They're distracted by the different things and the postcards and
it's a feel-good space, and your wines are amazing.
So, you know, my question is, when you are going to taste something, well, I don't know about wine, I say, what's your, like, what color? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Pink, white.
Keep it easy.
This, or this. Great. We don't use the word sweet in here. We don't, you know, we're just like, do you want to go this way or that way? New world, old world. Pink, white, sparkling still. Great. It's so easy. And then they're like, they graduated. It's like they immediately just graduated.
That's so fun. And you've taken all the pretense out of it. And I think, yeah, that's part of the energy of your wine. And I think that's so special that you asked Hawaii for the blessing of your company, and watching you grow, knowing when you launched Mana and how hard you worked, but how fast it just took off. And next thing I see her bottles all over Hawaii and on different wine lists, and even in California, find bottles in St. Helena.
Was my first sale.
That's fantastic.
Jeff he was my first. I sold him Pinot Noir forever. I remember bringing my Pinot Noir to him, and I said, just tell me what you think. And he poured it by the glass, and it was sitting on the back bar. Mr. Gentil, I was like, you guys are kidding me. It says Arroyo Seco on it. Like, this is Napa.
But it's delicious.
I got, and trust me, he would never throw anybody a bone if it wasn't worth it. And there's been a lot of that. Like, the wines are all, I'm just trying to find good wines that are varietally correct. We're not trying to change the world. Everything says California. If you really want to know the sub-appellation, fine, we'll tell you, but does it really matter?
Yeah, if you like it, great. If not, pour a different color. Chef, so tell us a little bit about what you've got going on down there. You're in Northern California, and you're hunkered down just like the rest of us?
Hunkered down. The season started off great. As you know, a lot of my clients are NBA or celebrity clients, and I've been working with Rajan Rondo along with my daughter Shalana, who's also a chef. And then this whole thing hit, and everybody hunkered down. But before that, we're doing a lot of wood fire pizza events with my wood fired ovens that I build and that we do.
Oh, Ashley, you've got to have him down. He has mobile wood-fired
We really
ovens,
do.
best pizzas on the planet, and he makes his own doughs.
Because I'm sure that you'd bring all the radness with you.
It'd be
Oh,
fantastic.
absolutely. Bring everything with.
I would throw a rager for you. Get down here.
Heck yeah. Maybe we'll have to have our prohibition is ended party down at the
We're
annex.
picking up a little bit, so if I seem hesitating. But yeah, I would love to go down there. I wanted to ask Ashley, what kind of do you ever serve food in there? I mean, obviously, I'm thinking poke right away. Poke's probably great for a sparkler, or maybe for some white wines. But I think a sparkler with a really spicy poke could be amazing.
Perfect. I would imagine you're completely right. We do have a small menu here. We're a type 1 restaurant deli, so I do all the catering myself and bring everything over, and then we do a lot of pop-ups. So we've had
Oh, good.
in the shopping center. We have a poke lab, Carmel Poke Company. So I don't want to compete with them, but when we do our plate lunch, we do offer certain types of poke. We do spam musubi.
Ooh.
I'm pairing a
Oh, you do? You spam what?
musubi.
Okay.
Do you know what musubi?
No, I don't know what musubi
Oh,
is. What
tell us, Ashley.
You know spam. Yeah.
I know it. I know what it is.
Terrible pan, the compacted meat.
Uh-huh.
You thinly slice, horizontal, and you pan fry, and you put on Kauro sushi rice. And
Of course. Okay.
nori with furikake and a little layer of teriyaki. It's
Nice. Now, okay, give me a wine pairing for that. Which one of your wine pairs best with that?
So it's very fatty, so you need
Very fatty. So a Pinot?
It's going to be rosé or sparkling.
Yeah. We haven't made the sparkling yet. We're going to production we were going this spring, but we'll see.
I can't wait. Bubbles are like my favorite thing on this planet.
We're going to do both.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Sparkling wine for the annex that's just using our selfie spot flamingo.
Okay.
My new favorite projects, we're doing a Blanc de Blanc, and the front label is just the flamingo. The back label is all hashtags. There's no name to the wine, and then the wine has
That's awesome.
handle. So when you buy it on the shelf,
That's brilliant. Who thought of that?
me,
Ashley, she's so creative. That's what I love about her. She's so vibrant and fun and never a dull moment with this one. I know my mom's watching tonight and she's all about flamingos and she loves sparkling wine. So
I don't even know where it came from.
that's so fun. I love it. And Rafi, tell us a little bit about what you got going on. You are a designer by day and a violinist by afternoon.
Yeah, for the most of my career, it's been spent as a designer, primarily in the automotive industry, and I've enjoyed that quite a bit. But I've had a lot of variety in what I do. I've done actually restaurant build outs. I've done a lot of logos and graphics for a number of different companies. But what I really like most about the automobile world is it's a chance to meet a lot of different people. They're all drawn, together by the sort of the love of nostalgia. Old cars kind of bring a wide range of people together. And I like the opportunity to talk with folks about what they like and don't like about the cars and kind of the future of automobiles, whether they're going to be autonomous, electric, how things are changing. So being on the forefront of some of that stuff, I get to meet really interesting people and get into lots of conversations about how they see the world of transportation in the future.
Excellent. That is actually
That's
very,
very
very cool. And what inspired you to become a designer?
I always loved working on cars. I'd open the hood on the family car out in front of the house, and before I know it, somebody would come by and say, "Hey, do you know how to fix this car?" And I'd say, "Sure, bring it by." And they say, "Well, it can't start." And I'd go over to their place and help them work on their car. And little by little, again, it was just, for me, it was an opportunity to get to meet people, to get to exchange ideas with them. And the car just seemed sort of a casual, very easygoing way to get to know people. And I like talking to people. I like stories that people tell. I like their history. I like the exchange of it. I like the culture of it. So to me, it's very engaging, and it's a fun way to get to know people. And it's not pretentious. A lot of people think that it can be. You see expensive Ferraris or really high-end cars, but ultimately you can literally walk up to the people that own them and engage them in their passion for their cars, and they're just regular people.
Yeah, I definitely love the car culture, and it's one thing. It's how we met Rafi. It was through our car group up here on the island, and it is fun because when we, everybody gets together, it's just like, oh, like what car do you have, and let's look under the hood, and everybody's like crawling through your cars, and it's so friendly and so communal, and you get to know people on a different level, and especially some of the custom cars that we see, getting the inspirations from, why do they choose the color or the interior? There's a story behind all of it, and it's always fun. I love that. I think that's always a really cool way to meet people.
In a way, like your two other guests, it's a lot like the hospitality industry. You have the opportunity to engage people through this sort of interesting thing. And food is certainly universal and interesting, and wine is something that people commune around all the time.
Absolutely.
And they're building stories. They're building nice ways to exchange with each other, like we're doing now. It's anything can be sort of a unified way of enjoying each other's company, and I find a lot of that through the automobile.
That's really cool.
That's really kind of beautiful, Rafi. That's cool.
We
Thanks.
love it. So you said you are also a violinist. What do you play?
So I started out my training classical music. So I played in orchestras and chamber music and all that. But I met a friend of mine who played the upright bass in an orchestra. And one day he and I were just fiddling around a little bit together, trying some different music. And we started to play more of it together. And before we knew it, we were playing in a bluegrass band. And then I started playing in some other bands. I play folk music. I play blues as well. And it's mostly night gigs, just trying things out with different people. And it's a nice way to break away from the other stuff I do, because when you're performing, you cannot think or worry about anything. You have to be absolutely right in that moment, or you lose it.
That's true. I'm almost feeling like, a big party coming on, Ashley. Like we've got music, we've got pizza, we've got the annex in your parking lot.
Why did the venue? We all have that there.
Road trip, we'll get the car group to drive down to Carmel.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I like this. I like this a lot.
Like a great event.
Well, I know we are going to play Wino Bingo.
Talk on the quick car is that the August car show we have down here, the Audubon.
Right.
Right.
Concourse. Down for that.
Yeah, actually, if it's still going to be on this year, and I hope it will be.
That is August.
Yeah, I'm actually one of the judges at the event, so I will come down and I will stop in and say hello in person.
I'm trying to sell his 52 Chevy. Can I send it to you so we can get rid of it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We might need to send it to Dan, actually. Got quite the network of people. So Ashley, which one of your manas is like your go-to? I know they're all your children, but we all have a favorite.
Ooh, depends on the day of the week, the mood I'm in. So I just went for rosé. That was delicious. I've been referring to that as watermelon juice with a heart.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know I sent everybody their Wino Bingo card, and Ashley is going to lead us through a little bit of a game of Wino Bingo. And this is a game that she actually plays there in her tasting room. I think it sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't personally played it, but I know John got to experience it when he was down there with the Yelp crew not too long ago. So Ashley, do you want to tell us a little bit about Wino Bingo?
So with wine bars, everybody seems to like games and bingo and all that bullshit. And I went full board ahead. All right, let's do it. My manager said, this is amazing. He discovered that there was a game called Wino, W-I-N-E-O versus B-I-N-G-O, like the dog. And, this is a small town. It's been hard to compete with it. but I really truly love this like handcrafted wino because this is actually made and curated and sold out of a small place in Idaho. So
Very cool.
Thrilled to have it, and we do it, and people love it as much as they are. But for the Yelp event that we did with Jonathan, it works. People really enjoy it. It's fun. Games. We have a whole rack of board games and cards and dice. We may do illegal things here, but that's okay. Nobody's noticed yet. So wino, W-I-N-E-O, which is different than bingo, is that instead of yelling a number that corresponds with, I believe, a letter. I haven't played bingo in a long time.
Right.
This is a wine varietal that corresponds with a letter. And when we do them in the bar, it's kind of fun because Brian, my manager, will really get into some fun stuff and, wine trivia and engage the audience. And we do a lot of giveaways. People come in and they spend, I think, $10 for a card, and it's a good time. So Jonathan experienced it, and he's requested that we play it again tonight. Board here. We usually play with rocks. And I think that all the people that are playing at home maybe were able to get this online.
For the most part, some might still need it, but they can kind of pretend, or they can make their own little grid and write in some varietals. I'm using a pen.
There you go, a pen works. I use rocks, and here's the non-cheating bag.
Excellent.
You have the middle, the glass of wine in the middle is obviously your free.
Okay.
That immediately. And then we'll just go real simple, kind of X marks. I think it's called like the corners. So it's like the top. No, that's hard. So you go like X. So it's basically 5 in a row.
Okay.
5 in a row.
5 in a row. Doesn't matter which 5. Could be down, across, or got it. Perfect.
I'm doing mine digitally.
Excellent.
So the first one is going to be O, letter O, and it's Pinot Gris. I hope, can you guys see the board, or do I need to bring it closer? This is really more for a reference. But.
Yeah, I think it's fine. We can see it.
So O, Pinot Gris, and then we go with O, Riesling. Riesling, one of my favorite varietals to drink.
And why is that?
Why, yeah.
Well, as long as they're, Riesling is a nerdy wine, but like you want to have like German Riesling, German Austrian Riesling. Like,
delicious.
It's good. It's just a little harder to do.
Excellent. And chef, so what are we going to be talking about food-wise in a little bit? Because you have whipped up an amazing recipe that would go really well with Riesling. It would go really well with sparkling.
You know what? I was going to say that Riesling would pair really, really well with that lobster and shrimp pineapple fried rice. And it's made with brown rice, so it's a little bit healthier. And I actually like the textural component that the brown rice brings to the table in a fried rice.
That's delicious.
But it's extraordinary. It's got a lot of ginger, a lot of garlic, little bit spicy. You know, I like spicy food, so which also works really good with that Riesling.
Gives it some pizzazz. And you were talking earlier, and actually we'll just keep drawing winos as we go. W what?
Merlot.
Merlot. W Merlot.
Merlot.
I'm batting a million here.
W Syrah.
Excellent.
Okay, got it.
And Chef, we were talking about fried rice earlier, and just Asian food in particular, about how a lot of people are very intimidated, or they think they should use a wok. And you were saying that woks aren't really the best choice for cooking Asian.
No, it really. But the moment you try to translate that to a home stove or even a commercial stove, that roundness takes it away from the fire. So if you can get a thin steel pan, I love blue steel, good French pans, but a thin steel pan, right? Flat, yes, flat bottom, and a lot of surface, that's going to work really well for most Asian cooking.
Excellent. That's really good to know. And I see Chris Sawyer's joined us online. He's chatting in on our YouTube feed. And Chris, what would you think about pairing a Riesling with a spicy fried rice dish with lobster and pineapple? Love to hear your feedback on that. And yeah, and Chef does everything spicy, which I personally love. I think gives a lot of pizzazz. And you can never go wrong with Chef Frank's food. I mean, it's insane. I know we used to go down to Muse Expo a lot. That's how we met, which is a music event in LA. Super fun. I'll tell you all more about it another time. But you know, he would pass around just plates and plates, and usually we hadn't eaten in like 2 days, and so here would come like the fried arancinis, and I'm like, oh no, just give me the whole platter.
We had fun at a car show some years ago where we had worked with some of the vendors catering for the event, and we actually paired certain foods and certain wines with certain cars.
Oh, that's very cool.
Wow, how cool is
So
that?
Ferrari, arancine.
Arancine.
Yeah, it was fun because it was a chance to sort of mix a little bit of like what goes obviously with a 57 Chevy, very American,
Cheeseburger.
What's the
Right.
cuisine for that? Cheeseburger, fries, that's what everybody thinks of. But what are some other things that could be a little bit more creative? And, there's a difference between, for example, a convertible fuel injected Chevy as opposed to a more family wagon type. Well, how do those burgers differ? And a lot of it ended up, Frank, you'd probably agree, ended up with how it was seasoned, how it was spiced, not just.
I was thinking more the pinky would need to go up, and the other one's okay without the pinky going up. I think it's Thursday nights, and the cars that come out for that, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's Friday night, Burbank.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing show, and you get, you don't have to pay a dime for it, and you come there, and it's drive-in food, and the people there are quite a range of people, everything from low riders to lead sleds and motorcycles. A lot of motorcycles show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, back to you. What's our next drawing here?
Be quick.
All right.
Riesling.
Yeah.
We're just going into the Riesling world.
I think my card's broken. I haven't gotten one yet.
I got a few so far.
Oh, lucky duck.
Pinot Noir, red wine, not white wine.
Which one?
Pinot Noir.
Now, is this like bingo where they got to all be in a row, or what?
And if
Yes.
I win, that's fine.
I mean, like what is that game with the X's and the O's? Tic-tac-toe?
Tic-tac-toe, kind of like that. You just got to get 5 in a row, either across, down, or diagonal.
Okay. So I can't pull the scissors out. That won't work.
No, not that one.
The last one was, what was that?
Vignier.
And what was the I, or what was the letter?
In?
I was Pinot Noir.
Got it.
In is
Viognier.
Okay.
Got it.
Still
Okay.
got one. And I see Chris Sawyer's chimed in. He says an Alsace white blend with Riesling, Pinot Gris, and Gewürztraminer would be an amazing pairing as well. I think that sounds really good.
It does sound
Very
really
cool.
good.
That sounds
Even that
amazing.
Viognier would work with that too. I love Viogniers.
Oh, absolutely. Super, Chris. Well, what are some of your favorite, when we're talking all things Hawaii and tropical breezes and beautiful flowers just floating through the air? It's gorgeous. What are some of your favorite poolside drinks? Tonight were beachside, poolside.
Two answers. Beachside in Hawaii, it's like vodka and whatever you have to mix it. There's usually no ice, and it's out of a cup, like a red Solo cup.
Right.
If I'm at a pool, then someone's bringing it to me, and it's still the same drink, but it has
Just with ice. Well, I know that, you and I have spent many an hour in the water in Hawaii drinking our solo cups of cocktails.
And we're like,
That's
damn
good.
it, gotta go, gotta get it back.
And then we started having poolside bar service by any means. I'm not sure how we made it through that night, but I amazingly was not hungover the next day, so that was fantastic.
A lot of seawater.
A lot of seawater. It was fantastic. Well, this one's a really easy one to make. It is about 2 ounces of pineapple juice, 2 ounces maybe of vodka, maybe a little bit more, splash of club soda. And I'll either do a little bit of limeade or a little bit of simple syrup if it's not quite sweet enough. But it's very, very light on the sweet side. Can sip it all day and tastes great with or without ice.
Sounds great.
That sounds safe.
Yeah, Chef, what did you make? I know you made yourself a tropical cocktail
I
tonight.
did. I made pretty much the same as you. I had some Tito's vodka, I had some pineapple juice, and I had one of those V8 type fruity drinks and put it in there, and it worked just perfectly.
Perfect. That sounds really good. Rafi, what about you?
So I haven't had one recently, but about a year ago, we went to Arizona and we were at the Biltmore Hotel and we had a room there with enough room in the freezer, and we got these small watermelons, and you cut the hole out on the top of the watermelon, pour the vodka inside, and then put the cap on, freeze it, and then you take the frozen watermelon out to the pool, sit down, and as it warms up and thaws, you take the cork off and you drink from the watermelon.
Fantastic. That actually seems,
Oh, that sounds
that's
great.
kind of like what Ashley's got going on in her.
Coco Lopez, a splash of orange juice. And I think
Sounds-
this would take me down for the rest of the day. But I mean, I know myself. I'm just like, it's so pretty.
It's
really
gorgeous. That's amazing. And viewers watching us, what are some of your favorite, tropical drinks, poolside, beachside, pretending that we're beachside, whatever it happens to be? We'd love to hear from you. All right, gang. So, we need more letters. I still don't have any, so I know my card's broken, but Rafi's doing really well.
I've
So
got a-
I did reach out to a lot of my Annex members and posted. And so if any of the Annex members are watching and listening, if they want to chime in and ask any questions or harass me, I'm welcome at any time, just so we know that we can give them a shout out. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
I'd be jealous that I'm here and they're not. So it's N. Riesling.
Oh, I got one. Yay.
Riesling. Okay, good.
So some fun facts about Hawaii, since we are talking about all things aloha. The Hawaii's state flower is a hibiscus, but it's very specific, and it is a yellow hibiscus, which a lot of people always just shout out, hibiscus, and I was like, no, it's only the yellow one. The rest, I guess, don't matter. So that's always fun. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Hawaii is the most isolated chain of islands in the world. It is the furthest away from any mainland and any islands ever. So they are, we knew it was special, but it's even more special when you know that they are out there all by them lonesomes. So I'm really happy that they kind of closed down their border early, because they don't need any of what's going on. They can just stay out there and be just fine by themselves for a while, and we can keep them happy. What else? Oh, Hawaii's state
That's
fish.
awesome.
It is awesome. It is very cool.
No. So they're not being affected by all this right now.
They had a few cases, but most of them came from visitors and, a few people that were traveling back and forth, but they had to, put the kibosh on it real fast.
That's awesome. That's
There's
great.
one island in the islands that is not open to any outsiders.
Sunrise shell, and you can get them. They're indigenous there, and then they kind of only wash up there, and then they wash up on the north part of Hawaii.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Then that you're wearing that, that's amazing. And so the islands are really cool. I haven't been to a lot of them. I've been to Kauai and I've been to Maui, and I've only been to Oahu on quick hop, skips, and jumps to one or the other islands. But I'd love to explore them a little bit more. We were supposed to be there tomorrow, but that's not happening. So maybe this fall, maybe Christmas time, we'll see. Got to get our Maui fix on for sure. All right, Ash, we got another letter?
I, Sauvignon Blanc.
Very good.
Is anyone
Excellent.
close?
I am not.
Sort of.
I'm very close. I just need one more.
N. Zinfandel.
Come on, Ash.
I'm all over the board.
Cheating if I want. And Zinfandel. All right, one more. Let's see. E. Chardonnay.
Bingo.
Chris,
I mean, wine.
why now? So Chris Sawyer's talking about he loves painkillers. That's one of his favorite tropically drinks, which is typically made with pineapple, rum, and dusted with a little cinnamon. Actually, that sounds really, really cool.
Oh, nice.
I just have that here today.
It would have been a good choice. All right, good job, Frank. That's awesome. All right, so now we're gonna let Chef tell us a little bit more about this lobster pineapple fried rice and some tips on how to make it. We will be sharing the recipe with our viewers. Anybody who registered for the show, I have your email address, so we will send you a link to the recipe as well as a video on how to make it. But for now, Chef's gonna tell us about it.
Okay, guys, I edited the video today, and it is, you know, the most important thing about most cooking, but definitely Asian cooking, is mise en place, having all of your preparedness in front of you ready to go. So especially with fried rice the day before, and then basically you want to cook your eggs before you do any part of the fried rice. A lot of times people think that they can put raw egg in with the rice and it's just disgusting. Again, then you get that goop. But if you start your pan with a little olive oil and a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and then just real runny eggs, set those aside, cook your shrimp, just to put a little crust on the shrimp, the lobster, your vegetables, pull everything together, put your ginger and your garlic in it. Then you can, and you don't want to overcook anything, you can now add your rice to it. And aromatics, your aromatics being the cilantro and Chinese slice of green onion to it, fold it all together, and that makes a wonderful fried rice dish. But you guys, the video will be there. You'll see it. It's like a 2.5-minute video. But if you try it once, I guarantee you fried rice will become a staple in your repertoire of cooking dishes.
I can't wait to try it. I think I'm going to make it this weekend for sure. And I got these really beautiful Argentinian shrimp or prawns. They're huge the other day in the frozen section. Shopping's been really interesting lately because, you know, a lot of the staples or things that we're used to buying are like completely wiped out. So I am starting to look at different ingredients a little bit more curiously, like, I normally wouldn't buy that, but let's try it anyway. And I can tell you what is not popular: chicken livers. Chicken livers are not popular. Our Safeway is just piled up in their clearance section in the meat department of like probably 50 pounds of chicken liver. So not a hot item these days.
A pate video. There you go. Pate.
Good. Yeah. Well, go to your local Safeway or grocery store and look at their meat clearance bin. Turns out to be an incredible value. Up here, every once in a while, we luck out. I know it sounds weird, but we actually get Snake River Farms Wagyu beef at our Safeway here on Bainbridge Island. Fried rice. I'm definitely going to try that. What would you do some variations with it? And how easy would it be to adapt?
It's super easy to adapt. So let's say you don't like shellfish or you're vegan. You know, vegan adapt is real easy. Just omit the seafoods and go with the rest of it. Your Wagyu beef is going to be wonderful. Make a really nice, fragrant fried rice, and then maybe some Japanese tagarashi pepper on your Wagyu. Sear it really nice, keep it nice and rare, and then fan that over your fried rice, and that's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, that sounds really, really good.
A lot of variations, and it's a great way to clean out your refrigerator. So even if you're not making rice, you can buy frozen brown rice from Trader Joe's. You can even buy the Uncle Ben's, the little packets of the pre-cooked rice, and those work perfect for fried rice.
That's a good tip. I really like that. Ashley, what are some of your favorite Hawaiian foods that you always go to? I know we talked about the musubi earlier. That sounds incredible. I will have to play with that.
The kids love the musubi. We even have a cat named Musubi.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Moose.
Loves to visit you.
But our favorite, like literally hands down, the best and most favorite food that we eat at the house that I make for everybody is plate lunch. So we do Kalbi ribs.
Yum.
Sometimes
love Kalbi.
But it's just Kalbi ribs and mac salad.
So simple.
Jeremiah's graduating college. That's what we're making.
That sounds so good. Rafi, do you have any fusion or Hawaiian dishes that you like that you can think of?
Hawaiian. Well, you know, our family goes to Kauai. We've been there a few times. That's our favorite island. But we had really light fried fish tacos at a place called Between the Two Businesses.
Is that in Kapa'a or where's that at?
It's near Poipu.
Okay.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, it was so good. And we just, you know, the whole family sat there. You get the food and you're in the parking lot, but it doesn't matter. It's so good. You're just eating the food and you can't believe how good it is. And so we bought t-shirts and they're very funky. And there they say right on the t-shirt, you know, I've been to the crack. And
I gotta get one of those.
It's a pretty good place, and you'd never think to go there, but for anybody who has a chance to go to Kauai, you gotta stop into the crack and have. It was unbelievably good, and they're all locals making the food, and it's they've been there forever, and it's the local recipes and all that. And of course, there's right next to it is one of those giant shaved ice trucks,
Even better.
Could not be. It's the
More
greatest
perfect.
thing in the world. Yeah, walk to the beach and let it melt all over your hands, and it's great.
I think my favorite Kauai moment was with Tristan, our son. He couldn't have been more than like 5. Oh yeah, it was kindergarten because it was when we were really bad parents and we booked a 2-week trip to Hawaii right at the first week of school.
Yeah.
Because that really wasn't on our radar when we made that plan. and Tristan is awesome, and he can't keep his hands off anything. And of course, as much as you tell him, you know, don't touch things, you know, he's a kid, he's going to explore. And he picks up this coconut, but it was a rancid, rotten coconut, and then just gushed all over him. We like made him sit in the way back of the truck. You need to go swimming right now. But as far as Hawaiian dishes, I'm a huge fan of Kahlua pork. And and I know Tristan, speaking of Tristan, loves it as well. I find myself craving it on a fairly regular basis, so I have become really good at making it. And I make it in my crock pot. Again, couldn't be the most easy thing in the world. I found a lot of recipes, and I find that because they do rely on liquid smoke to get that smokiness. But I think a little sprinkle of Hawaiian salt and 2 drops of liquid smoke, and just close that bad boy up and let it rock for like 8 hours. We actually got one cooking right now. And so we'll be having Kahlua pork later this evening. And I know I have a little cooked up rice in the refrigerator, so maybe we'll try our hands at a little Kahlua pork fried rice tonight.
I'll come by and we'll stand 6 feet apart.
Me first, jealous.
Yes, Chris, you should have some of these yummy, tasty bites. You'll have to meet Chef Frank the next time we're all together. Chris is one of our dear friends. He's going to be on the show as well. He's a super rock star sommelier, and he's been chiming in tonight. So it's been fun talking with them and getting the feedback. I know that we are kind of coming down to the end of the show. Did we have, well, Chef got wino. How close did you get, Rafi?
I had 2 more to go in the O. I needed a Zinfandel and a Merlot.
I got 1. It was rocking. And Ashley, how close did you get on your card?
I was with Rafi. I needed the Zen and the Merlot. Maybe we have the same card.
Oh, could be. Well, it's really fun. So you can play Wino Bingo at the Annex in Carmel as soon as we can all get out of house arrest or whatever it is we're all facing right now. I know Washington got a few extra days. We're now out till May 4th. And Carmel's got only till the 30th of April, so hopefully that stays that way.
Not quote me. I have no idea.
I know. Who knows? It's so crazy. We're all playing it day by day. But we are real excited. Friends, our Ashley friends, our wine friends. And that's what CellarPassTV is all about, is just having a good time and having a glass of wine or a cocktail with our friends, and just taking a 45 minutes to an hour and enjoying an evening. So we can't wait to see you again on Monday. We have a really great lineup. And we've got Jenny's Gen happening on Monday. So stories and great people. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Cheers and aloha.
Mahalo.
And we will see you very soon.
Aloha.
Aloha. Good night, everybody.